At Willow Haven Farm, we're doing a little bit of sorting and organizing here out in the field. So what we've done is we planted a lot of our tomato plants last week, and Farmer Ruben has said that there are some that, like this poor guy, he's gotten damaged for some reason. So he's not gonna make it. So, and then there's some other places. So here's an empty spot here. Probably the tomato plant didn't take. So sometimes the roots that are attached to the plant get damaged when we're pulling them out of the trays and putting them in. And the people who are planting think that there's enough root on there to help the plant grow, but sometimes they're wrong, and those plants just don't make it. So we're going to go through and find all the places where we're missing a plant. So like this one is damaged. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, this one's damaged and isn't gonna make it. So we're gonna hand plant in the extra spaces here that need tomatoes so that we have a full crop here. And so Blaze and some other people have been going through and getting our plants, the different varieties that are needed for each row, and putting them here, getting them ready so that when we come back out here after lunch, we've got the right varieties for each row. I think down here we've got cherry tomatoes and sun golds, they were saying. Now here I can also show you, you see this running water here? This is our big irrigation line, and you can see the moisture on here. So we've got water from the wells coming through and running through this blue tube here. And then there's all these connectors, these connectors to these drip tape that have holes in them. They go underneath the black plastic all the way down the row, and they're giving water. Now, what's happening here is, you can hear it, you can hear that water there. So there's a leak underneath here, and water is spraying out. So we're losing some water here, and periodically we go through and make repairs. But this one at least isn't spraying up into the air like it does sometimes. But that gives you a close-up of how this blue irrigation works. And this is connected all the way up here to this irrigation hydrant. So this is on all the way up here, and we've got these irrigation hydrants scattered all throughout the farm. This one has irrigation connectors. So this is going downhill to the tomato and the pepper field. This one is going uphill to all the greens. And this is a contraption that I don't really understand very well, but it's connected to this liquid, and I believe that it's organic product that gives the plants extra nutrients to grow. One of the ingredients is I think fish in there, and that's really, really great. A great organic product for the fields. So uphill we have herbs here. Maybe, yeah, we've got herbs. This is sage, and these rows of plastic haven't been used yet. And then we've got some different varieties that you'll see. Here's our purple basil. That's always fun and decorative. And then it switches over to green basil up there. So there you've seen a couple different fields here. They're growing really well. You can also see the rain that we've gotten is germinating all of the weeds in the rows in between, and most likely we'll mow in between the rows here, because the roots of will hang onto the soil and prevent erosion. So it's a good green cover here. We don't want it to be bare soil in between so that it washes down the hill. So we'll mow in between here, but also means that with the rain and the moisture that we've gotten, we need to do cultivation, which is a fancy word that farmers use for weeding. A lot of times we can use cultivation tools behind the tractor to go in between different rows. And depending on the weather, especially with an organic farm, when we get those rains, everything grows, our plants, but the weeds really love it too. So if the fields are muddy and wet, we can't get in there with the tractor to take care of the weeds that are loving all this new growth. And so sometimes we can get behind in cultivation when we're getting perfect weather for growing like this. Well, and the other thing that's going on is, you know, it's going to be really, really hot this weekend into the upper 90s. And so we might have some trouble with some of our early spring crops, which like the cool weather, not the hot weather. The hot weather is great for the tomatoes and the eggplant and the peppers that we just put in this week. Thousands of plants, but our bok choy, our poor little bok choy, are not gonna like it. And so what happens is the hot weather signals to those plants that it's time to set seed and get ready to start a new crop. And so instead of staying nice in the nice leaf stage where we want to eat it. So that we're going to be watching for that, and there's nothing really we can do. The nice thing about bok choy is that even if it does start putting up its stems and its flowers, those are edible too. So bok choy can be eaten in lots of different stages, and so we're just going to keep an eye on that and keep you informed of the changes and how the weather is affecting us. So there's always a challenge, a lot of things that we can't control here on the farm, but you can control whether you're supporting your local farmer by getting farm food from Willow Haven Farm, and we try to make it really easy for you to do that by getting the things that you want to eat in a Market Box subscription. So keep connected with us on our videos and in our email newsletters, and you'll find out more of the story next week, what's happened at Willow Haven Farm. So if you're just finding this, make sure you're on our email list at willowhavenfarmpa.com/farm news, and I'll keep you informed. Bye.